Well, the thing is that a lot of folks, a lot of entrepreneurs make mistakes because they don't have access to the right information. That's what it is. Everything starts with decision making, right? You got to have the right information. So, in today's conversation, I want to talk to you about 5 massive business loans that approve you incredibly fast and easy, even if you have bad or fair credit. Okay? Don't you go anywhere. You're going to love today's conversation. I guarantee you.
One in a million, one in a million, one in a million. You know they're coming up to me, cause I'm just the kind of flower that's stinging in the beat, but the rhythm's getting higher. Go, 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 go. One in a million, one in a million, one in a million.
Welcome back, folks, to another edition of the Awesome Sorted Kiwi Show. How are you today? I hope you are doing fantastic. I'm doing marvelous if you were to ask me. If you are doing as great as I am, go grab a cup of coffee or tea or vodka and let's roll. In today's conversation, I want to talk to you about 5 massive business loans that approve you incredibly fast and easy, even with bad or fair credit. Okay, we're talking about loans that are really fast. You know, the speed of approval is really fantastic. So number 5, I have Fundbox. Our score 8.5 over 10. So when you think about Fundbox, I want you to think about a loan that is really that's wonderful when it comes to speed. Okay, quick approvals, and you are talking about loans that oscillate from $1,000 to $150,000. So is your business currently struggling? Is your business trying to find the funding you need to actually accelerate growth or to expand and to take care of business on a daily basis? If that's your situation, then you want to contact Fundbox right now. Okay, so they want you to be in business for at least 6 months and minimum credit score 550 to 600. Okay, and we love Fundbox because here is a platform, here is an institution that uses some kind of what we love is their underwriting process is different. They use artificial intelligence to actually help them in the into the underwriting process. Okay, that's kind of cool because they're not just looking at your credit, but they're looking at your company's situation. They're looking at your operations. They are looking at what we call a holistic. They're having a holistic view about your business. So this is really good. Okay, and here are the pros and cons. So the pros: you can receive a decision within 3 minutes. You know, this is wonderful. Low minimum credit score requirements. Next day funding. Think about that. 24-hour funding. This is really wonderful. Okay. And what about the cons? Only short-term repayment terms are available. Okay. Their maximum is $150,000. It's relatively low, but listen, it is what it is. And the term loan is not available nationwide. Okay. And here are some extra details you need to know about. Well, you need, as an applicant, as a business applicant, you need to have a minimum personal credit score of 600, okay? And you must be in operation for 6 months, okay? And this is a possible startup option. Actually, it's really great. If you are a startup and you have been in business for 6 months, you can qualify, okay? And the thing is that they have a requirement that you need to make at least $100,000 in revenue. But if you have a strong business plan and you speak to a Fundbox rep before applying, you could be approved. Okay, so this is really great. So Fundbox, our score 8.5 over 10. Number 4, we have Rapid Finance. Our score 8.8 over 10. What we love with Rapid Finance is that you have product availability. They have a diversity of lending products. Okay, so this is really good. You are looking at loan amounts that go from $5,000 to $1 million. Think about that. You can do a lot of stuff with that cash right now, right? If cash is tight, you can pay suppliers. You can actually hire more people, right? You can expand the business. Okay, so they want you to be in business for at least 6 months and minimum credit score 550. This is wonderful. That's wonderful. And we picked this Rapid Finance because they're very generous in the loan amounts that they give you. Okay, and the maturity, you are looking at 3 to 60 months. So we're talking about 5 years. This is really good. I mean, this depends, of course, on the specific type of loan that you're looking for, right? But we love Rapid Finance for that diversity because depending on the stage, the operational stage your business is at, you will need actually to have this kind of flexibility in lending. The only thing is that you are required to meet daily or weekly repayment schedule. So this could be a little disruptive to your liquidity, but hey, it is what it is. So here are the pros and cons. So pros: You have loans up to $1 million. They have less strict minimum qualification requirements. So this is really good. They have fast closing and funding. Okay. What about the cons? Well, they have a transparency problem because they do not disclose APRs or monthly fees. So something you need to talk to them about. Okay. Maximum term of 5 years. If you want a longer term loan, you can't get that with Rapid Finance. And the smallest loan amount is $5,000. Okay. And so here are some extra details. Now, if you want to qualify for a Rapid Finance business loan, you need to have a minimum credit score of 550. Okay, so you need to be in business for at least 6 months, and you got to have at least $5,000 in monthly revenue. Okay, and what we love with the Rapid Finance is that in general they'll get back to you they'll actually fund your loan. They will fund you within 24 hours. As long as you have the required paperwork and you submit everything on time and you speak to them and you answer all the questions, 24 hours. But in general, if you don't get back to them quickly, the whole process for approval could take up to 2 days or 3 days, depending on your situation and depending on the states you're applying from. Okay. Number 3, folks, we have B's to Credit. Our score 9/10, and here is another massive business loan that approves you super fast, even if you have bad or fair credit. We'll love it. We love B's to Credit. And the loan amounts here are consequential. This is really good. Okay, you are looking at $25,000 all the way to $2 million. So we're talking really very generous amounts here, and this is great. And this is money you can use to expand, to buy new stuff, to buy inventory, right? To hire folks to take care of whatever issues that you are currently facing in the business. Okay, time in business 6 months, really good. And minimum credit score 575. This is really great. And so we picked B's to Credit because it is really a great, I would say, a great institution. Okay, and they have a diversity of loan products for businesses. Okay, and the only thing is that their application process takes only a few minutes, and you have 24 hours to receive a decision. So in terms of celerity, in terms of speed, they are very up there. Okay, and they offer, as I said before, a diversity of products. Okay, why don't we just go through the pros and cons here? So the pros. So you have low minimum credit score, low minimum annual revenue requirements of $100,000, and they have a quick application, approval, and funding process. This is really good. What about the cons? Well, they are more stringent. They have, in terms of their qualification requirements for term and CRA loans, okay, working capital loans require daily or bi-weekly payments. Again, this could be disruptive to your cash flows, but it is what it is. If you're able to manage this and be able to actually incorporate this frequency, this stringent frequency into your cash flow, this could be good. Okay, here's some extra information you need to know about that. And know about the B's to Credit. Now, if you want to qualify for a working capital loan, you must have a minimum personal credit score of 575. You must have been operating your business for at least 6 months and have annual revenue greater than $100,000. Okay, and but in terms of funding time, they're really fast. I mean, if you apply, they will reply to you within 3 to 5 minutes. Okay, and you can actually get a decision as fast as 24 hours. You can get your money within 2 days, 2 to 3 days. But so the whole process from start to finish can take 48 hours or 72 hours. So they're really fast. Number 2, we have Blue Vine. Our score 9.5/10. So when you think about Blue Vine, I want you to think about business lines of credit. Okay, not business loans, but another type of business funding, and this is lines of credit. Okay, so you have lines that go from $6,000 to $250,000. They want you to be in business for 6 months at least, and minimum credit score of 600. Okay, and Blue Vine is really flexible. I mean, we love the fact that Blue Vine. The thing is that in the last few years, they have been kicking ass in terms of innovating, in terms of adding new products, in terms of understanding their market better and better and better. And they use, Blue Vine is a fintech company. So in terms of using technology to aid in the underwriting process, they are up there. They're really up there. Okay. And the thing is that if you are looking for a line of credit, that can help you do a lot of stuff on a day-to-day basis, Blue Vine is the place to go. The only problem is they want you to repay them over 26 weeks. So this is really short. You're talking about half a year. Okay, but as long as you can manage that into your liquidity strategy, into your cash flow management, well, Blue Vine could be a good product for you. Let's just quickly go through their pros and cons. By the way, Blue Vine is not available in North Dakota and South Dakota, Puerto Rico. Okay, so just want to, and they're not available in U.S. territories. Okay, so I just want to mention that. But pros, well, if you have been in operation for 6 months, you are eligible. This is wonderful. They have lines of credit up to $250,000. Okay, low credit score requirements. What about the cons? Well, no mobile app for their line of credit, so they have a monthly revenue requirements. Okay, and also they're not available to businesses in North Dakota and South Dakota. So if you are in those states, you're out of luck. You might look for another provider. Okay, if you're in Puerto Rico, same thing. Okay. Here are some extra details you need to know about. Well, the thing here is that you got to have a minimum personal credit score of 600. Okay, you need to be in business for 6 months at least. You need to have monthly revenue of $10,000 or $120,000 annually. So if you are in a business that faces some seasonal disruptions, that's fine, as long as the annual requirements, you can meet the annual revenue requirements. Okay, and your business must be a corporation or LLC. So if you're a sole proprietorship, you will not qualify. Okay, and you must not have any bankruptcy within 1 year. So this is really important. In terms of turnaround, they're really fast. Okay, they can give you a decision in 5 minutes, and if you are approved, you will receive your funds in your bank account within a few hours if you choose their wire option. Okay, so this is really good. I'll be right back right after this. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, folks, to another section of the Awesome Sweetie Kiwi Show. We are still having a conversation about 5 massive business loans that approve you incredibly fast and easy, even with bad or fair credit. Number 1, we have On Deck. Our score, 9.8 over 10. So when you think about On Deck, you want to think about loan amounts that oscillates from $5,000 to $250,000, $250,000. Okay, time in business, 1 year minimum. Minimum credit score, 600. The cool thing about On Deck is that we love the fact that they have a flexible lending products, especially they can customize their lending to you. Okay, and on top of that, they actually, if you really think about it, they want you to be in business for 1 year. So if you are, let's say, if you're a startup, you could still qualify as long as you have a solid business plan. Okay, and you call them first. Okay, this is really important. And the thing that we love is that you can actually get term loans between $5,000 and $250,000 with repayment terms of up to 24 months. So they are really short in their repayment term. We're talking about 2 years here, right? And you can also access a credit limit of $6,000 to $100,000. They have a line of credit with a 12-month repayment term that resets after each withdrawal. Okay, it's really important. And the cool thing we love about On Deck is that they are actually they lend to a large constellation of industries. Okay. And so pros and cons here. So the pros, you have term loans up to $250,000, lines of credit up to $100,000. Okay, you have same-day funding, low minimum credit score requirements, and the cons, they have a $100,000 minimum annual revenue requirements. You must have been operating for at least 1 year, so it's important. And they don't lend to businesses in Nevada, North Dakota, and South Dakota. Okay, something you need to be aware of. And here are some extra details you need to know about this On Deck. What we love is that if you are a prospective borrower, you got to have a 600 at least to qualify. Okay. Additionally, your business must have been in operation for at least 1 year and have had annual gross revenue of at least 100,000. Okay, and you also need to have an open business checking account. It's very important. Now, in terms of funding you, actually, you can apply and receive a decision from On Deck on the same day. What's more, approved borrowers also can have their funds in their bank account as early as the day they are approved. So everything is possible. Okay, if you have made it so far, I want to give you a bonus. And our bonus is that we have another great financial institution that you might love, and this is Credibly. Our score 7.9 over 10. So Credibly is great for loan options. Okay, here they give you loan amounts from $5,000 to $400,000, time in business 6 months, and minimum credit score 500. Okay, and what we love about Credibly is that they offer a wide constellation of business loans for bad credits. Okay, so we're talking about working capital loans, business lines of credit, and merchant cash advances. Okay, and in addition to that, new businesses may also find it easier to secure financing. So if you're a startup out there, okay, you can actually qualify. You know why? Because Credibly only asks for operational history of 6 months. This is really good. Okay, and one thing we love is that now the only thing is if you get the working capital loans, make sure that you are really good with your cash management, because they want you to repay them between 6 and 18 months. And sometimes payments are due daily or even weekly. So you gotta stay on top of your liquidity management game if you want to be to be comfortable with Credibly. Okay. Now, if you choose a business line of credit, you can access credit lines up to $250,000. Okay. And so here are the pros and cons. So pros, you have a wide variety of loan products. This is really good. Okay. You have low credit score requirements. You have fast funding times. What about the cons? Well, you have the lowest loan amount is $5,000. Okay. And they require daily or weekly payments. So this could be disruptive to your cash flows if you're not prepared. So this is really important. Okay. And so let me give you some extra details. Now, if you want to qualify for a loan through a business loan or business line of credit through Credibly, you need to have a personal credit score minimum of 500. And your business must be in operation for at least 6 months. And you got to have at least $15,000 in average monthly bank deposits. Okay, we're not speaking here about revenue. We're speaking about the cash deposits. Okay, and in terms of turnaround times, they're really fast. Okay, they offer same-day approvals, and as soon as you are approved, you can get your cash within 8 hours. So you can apply in the morning, right, and get your cash in the afternoon. Totally possible. Just make sure that you have the right paperwork and that you submit to them, and you actually communicate with them, and you explain everything. So really, really good. Credibly, 7.9 over 10. Let me quickly have a conversation before we close to today's talk. I want to talk to you about, we're talking about massive business loans that approve you even with bad or fair credit. It's really important to understand that, when you make a decision about a loan, you got to think about a lot of things. And in analyzing those loans in today's conversation, we paid attention to the loan cost, we paid attention to the loan details, eligibility and accessibility, customer experience, and the application process. Because it's not just about bad credit or fair credit that you have to pay attention to. You have to pay attention to the loan cost, because what's the point if you have to get let's say a very easy loan, but the APR is crazily high, so you're just losing a lot of cash anyway. So it ain't really worth it. So for us, we take a holistic approach when evaluating certain loans here, and so those factors are really important for us. And now, if you want to actually compare, and it's important that you got to get better at comparing business loans for bad credit or fair credit. You got to be in a situation where you can say, okay, you know what? I think this loan is better for me. Why? Well, because of my personal situation, my FICO score, my net worth, okay, my cash flow situation, my business's situation in terms of operational situation, cash flow position, and also revenue, right? So those are a little bit of, I'm giving you some keys in analyzing and comparing and contrasting loans before applying, because you cannot apply randomly here. Okay, so if you want to compare business loans for bad credit or fair credit, you need to consider minimum credit score requirements. Very important. So you see what kind of a FICO score they're asking for, okay? Because here we're not speaking about EIN only applications here. We're speaking about just regular business applications. So look at the minimum credit score requirements. And what you want to do here is you also want to compare the top end and the lower end of interest rates. So you want to look at the delta, okay? Because every loan has, I would say, a low interest rate and a high interest rate, depending on your credit worthiness and depending on the business itself. So you want to compare that, okay? So you want to determine how you want to receive your funds. Do you want to have funds in terms of upfront or over time? Because if you are looking for a business line of credit, you'll get funds over time, okay? You need to consider the repayment terms and flexibility. As I've said to you in today's conversation, certain lenders want you to pay them like every day. Think about that. Think about the consequence to your cash flows, the disruption this could bring. If you're comfortable with that, that's fine. You want to look out for additional fees also, okay, that they are charging. And you want to evaluate the lender's customer support options, very important, and their reputations also. If they have a great reputation or a bad one, you need to make a determination there as well. Let me give you a few pro tips before we close to this conversation. So the whole conversation is about massive business loans that approve you even with bad or fair credit, right? Now, what are we talking about when we have when we say bad credit score? Obviously, a bad credit score is anything below 579. Okay, I mean, you probably know that the credit scores actually go from 300 to 850. All right. So if you are a business owner, you have a FICO score of 579 or 569 or lower, you have a bad FICO score. But see, the thing here is that if you apply it properly, your FICO score should not be a problem. Okay, I mean, it is still there, but it's not pivotal because we are speaking about a business loan. And as long as you can actually put forward the strength of your business, you can put a business plan, you can talk about your monetization options, how you actually plan to monetize the whole business model, you should be good to go, because your FICO score again is important, but it remains a personal criterion. Okay, and what you want to do here is you want to build your business credit instead. Okay, this is important. Okay, you want to pay attention to your net 30 vendors. Okay, you want to pay attention to your business credit cards, to anything you can do to have business credit. That's totally fine. Okay, so you want to check your personal and business credit scores. So before you actually get a business loan with bad or fair credit, please check your personal FICO and your business, your PDEX score or your Equifax business credit score or your Experian business credit score, and try to improve those credit scores. Yeah. Okay. What I'm trying to tell you here is that this will have a positive impact on the loan you receive and the interest rate you're paying. Okay. So you have to prepare your business for due diligence, because lenders will want to dig a little bit, want to do a little bit of digging around your company to know if your business is legit, is profitable. Okay, so be ready for that. Okay, you need to identify possible co-signers. So if you have bad credit, maybe you want to actually, I mean, it really depends on how bad your credit is, and it depends on how I would say how rosy the company's financials are. Yeah. Okay, so those are really important. So you want to actually identify possible co-signers who can help you get the loan, and you want to compare lenders to find the best deal. Yeah. I mean, this is totally possible. So you got to do a pro and cons, and compare and contrast and know where you at. So, and once you do that, submit the application. And I just want to talk to you also about the steps. So we were talking about submitting an application though. So let's talk about the steps here. Okay. So how do you choose a bad or fair credit small business loan? So look at the qualification requirements. Boss, I want you to really pay attention to the qualification requirements. What are they asking for in terms of FICO score, in terms of revenue, in terms of operational history, the length of operational history? Those are really important. You want to look at the loan offerings. What do they have? Do they have business loan, business line of credit, commercial real estate loan? What do they have? Do they have working capital loan, emergency business loan? What do they have? So the more the more information you have about that, the better. So you have a clear idea what you're getting yourself into, and that's what you want to have, right? You want to look at the APR, the annual percentage rates. Okay, are they very high, crazily high, or you can handle that? Because remember, this will be your liquidity management. This will be, you have to repay the loan. So look for additional costs and fees. Look for the underwriting and funding speed. Look for the lender's reputation, And if you want to get the bad credit or fair credit business loans, remember that traditional banks and credit unions are also they're also great venues. Though the only problem is, as we know, as you probably know, that banks and credit unions are traditionally conservative. They're risk averse. Okay, when it comes to, they're conservative in terms of their underwriting criteria. So depending on how bad your credit is, you might now get a business loan from them, unless you have a strong relationship with a specific credit union or bank. You've been with them for a long time, and so they can actually they could probably just ignore your bad credit and give you the business loan anyway. Okay, but you can go to traditional bank and credit unions to get bad credit or fair credit business loans. You can consider online lenders. Okay, in today's conversation, a lot of lenders that I've been talking to you about, they are alternative lenders or online lenders. Okay, you can also go to CDFs. So it's CDFI. So it's CDFI. So we're talking about community development financial institutions. Okay, those are actually, they work with they're different. They're very community centered. Okay, you might think about invoice factoring companies also, or you can consider merchant service providers. So a lot of things you can find a lot of interesting funding venues here. Now, startups with bad credit can also get business loans. Not a problem. Okay, it really depends on the strength of your application. I'm talking about your business plan, very important, and your financial projections. Before I do a recap here, please check out this loan evaluation approach. We have a very strict methodology when it comes to evaluating, categorizing, and listing business loans and personal loans on this show. Check this out. Let me quickly recap today's conversation. Boss, I was talking to you about the 5 big business loans that approve you incredibly fast and easy, even with bad or fair credit. Number 1, we have here On Deck, 9.8 over 10. Number 2, Blue Vine, 9.5 over 10. Number 3, Bees to Credit, 9 over 10. Number 4, Rapid Finance, 8.8 over 10. Number 5, Fundbox, 8.5 over 10. And in the bonus category, we have Credibly, 7.9 over 10. Thank you so much for your attention. I'll see you next time. But until then, remember, stay marvelous.